Aston Martin has pleasantly surprised the Formula 1 community as one of the top performing teams. Despite being labeled as a copycat team in the past, they have shown their capability in Formula 1. Drivers Alonso and Stroll had an impressive race, given that they belong to a team that finished 7th in 2022. Currently, Aston Martin can compete with Ferrari, not just Mercedes. How did they manage to become the top team in just 6 months after being at the back of the midfield? The Bahrain Grand Prix never fails to disappoint, and last year we saw a 1-2 Ferrari finish after such a long time. This time, Red Bull took what was there in dominant win, and it was Leclerc who suffered for stopping, and Perez's fate in 2022, with him having to end the race prematurely due to reliability issues. On the other hand, Aston Martin is definitely a team on the rise, and now that all the sandbags have been left in the preseason testing in Bahrain, one couldn't help but wonder what on earth is happening in Aston Martin. It's a bit hard to understand how a team had such a poor performance in 2021 and 2022 managed to rake up P3 and P6 finish on the first race of the season, scoring both Mercedes drivers on the way to doing so. So it's definitely got to do with the money. But this time it seems like Aston Martin put their money where their mouth is. Lawrence Stroll has finally understood that he can have one of the best teams on grid if he managed to take 2 steps back and let the professionals do their job. Dan Fallows is a British Formula 1 aerodynamicist, and he's one of the few people who can brag about the fact that he was trained personally by Adrian Newey. He's definitely the guy that Aston Martin has to say thank you to for their recent success, and we cannot ignore that Red Bull is regretting the fact they let go of Fallows so easily. After all, this is a sport of movement, and people are transferring to other teams all the time. Rare are the times they knock successes like Fallows did at Aston Martin. Soon Christian Horner opened up about Aston Martin's competitiveness, and when talking about the MR23, he couldn't help but compare it with the RB18, the most dominant car that has excited production out of Milton Keynes. After analyzing the race, it is apparent that Aston Martin was the second strongest team. Their successful performance is the result of their hard work over the winter, which is a clear indication of their capability to improve. It is interesting to know that Red Bull's RB18 car design has inspired them, and it is a good thing to see them make improvement based on it. Dan Fallows, who previously worked for Red Bull, played a vital role in Aston Martin's recent success. Red Bull had to let him go as his skills and expertise would be better utilized elsewhere, and Aston Martin was the perfect place for him to showcase his talent. Aston Martin's competitiveness with top teams like Ferrari and Mercedes proved that they have achieved their winter goals. According to Wolff, their car is now 1 second ahead of Mercedes, and they share 50% of the same parts as the W14. This is a testament to the fact that the improvements can still be made under the engine's freeze era if done correctly. Many people were left wondering how Stroll's team managed to be competitive in times where the rule change wasn't that huge, and quite honestly, nobody projected any team to make such progress as Aston Martin did. Formula 1 is a technical and complicated sport, and no matter how good a driver you are, you need the perfect engineering miracle if you want to be competitive. If Stroll was able to finish P6 and beat Russell in a direct battle, then it goes to show that the MR23 is definitely the thing to keep an eye on for the rest of the season. One thing that we could not help but notice is the similarity that the MR23 has with the RB18. Like Horner said, with Dan Fallows being the technical director of Aston Martin, it's evident that the first thing he do is apply the successful story of Red Bull's design. Quite honestly, Fallows left Red Bull in April 2022, which was already the time when the team had it all figured out in terms of aerodynamic performance and the design of the car. This has been handed by Helmut Marko, Red Bull's special advisor, with him further adding, if you compare the cars, you can see that Aston Martin is most similar to Red Bull. That certainly has its reasons. It wasn't just Dan Fallows who went to Aston Martin, but also a few other people, and obviously they have a good memory. In 2022, Aston Martin attempted to replicate designs used in Barcelona and throughout the 2019 season. While this strategy earned them the 3rd spot in the Constructors' Championship, the current regulations are much more stringent, making it commendable that they were able to achieve such a significant improvement in performance. Additionally, the team is still waiting for their new factory to become operational, adding further uncertainty to their situation. Aston Martin has made a remarkable transformation, moving from regular Q3 exit in 2022 to beating the 2 top 3 teams in 2023. The team's philosophy is a crucial factor in their success, with Ralf Schumacher revealing that Sebastian Vettel told him about Lawrence Stroll's continuous involvement in the team. This commitment to the team was a factor in the decision to remove Otmar Szafnauer as a team principal at the end of the 2021. It appears that Aston Martin's leadership understand the money can only get you so far, and that securing the best talent in Formula 1 requires a constant search for improvement, while finding the most talented individuals on the grid is not always feasible. Aston Martin has been willing to adapt and change in their quest for success. It remains to be seen if the egos and stubbornness that are often present in Formula One teams have been set aside for the betterment of the team. Certainly, the recent performance of Aston Martin in the world of Formula One has been nothing short of impressive, but other teams such as McLaren and Alpine have taken a step back due to management issues. Aston Martin has managed to surpass expectation and beat Sauber and Mercedes in a direct on-track battle. One notable achievement that is expected to happen soon is the 100th podium of Fernando Alonso's career, which is likely to happen while driving for Aston Martin. In fact, he's expected to notch his 99th podium finish in the first race of the 2023 season. During radio conversations, Alonso's technical knowledge and expertise have been highlighted through the question he asked his race engineer. It's clear that his experience and skill set are valuable assets to the team. However, it's important to know that while Sebastian Vettel was not the wrong fit for the team, Aston Martin's philosophy and mindset did not align with his aspiration to remain with the team. This led to his departure and the arrival of a new successor. Despite the disappointment of not seeing Vettel compete for podium finishes and potentially win, there is still a great deal of excitement surrounding the team and its future. One aspect that is worth keeping an eye on is the potential for Lance Stroll to step up his game and become more competitive in 2023. With Alonso as his teammate, there is a newfound motivation for Stroll to perform at his best and help Aston Martin achieve dominance in the sport. It's not a far-fetched scenario to envision Aston Martin finishing in the top 3 at the end of the 2023 season in the Constructors' Championship. Overall, Aston Martin has emerged as a strong contender in the world of Formula One, proving that they are a team that is here to stay. Their recent success is a testament to the expertise and hard work of the team, and it will be exciting to see what they can achieve in the future.